Growing up with siblings is a constant he did it, she did it kind of vibe. He started it, she started it. You were first the last time. You got the biggest slice yesterday. You picked the movie last week. And we can go on. It's exhausting. But we've got 15 ways to get through sibling rivalry to share with you today. Welcome back, family. Let's begin at number 1. Preparation is key. If you're the oldest child, you'll probably remember the days when you were the be-all and end-all. You made the tiniest squeak, and your parents were right there ensuring you were still breathing. A cough meant a Google search to ensure you didn't need a trip to the ER, and every morsel of food you ate was prepared to the standards of a Michelin chef. Suddenly, out of nowhere, comes the small, attention-seeking, noisy baby, and you're not so special anymore. Ouch. So, new parents, first things first, get your older child used to the idea of having another human in the house. Show her photographs of when she was inside your belly. Go through her baby photo albums. Chat about how she was as a baby and reminisce of that special time. And explain that this time she will be able to witness these special events firsthand and be a part of that exciting journey. Number 2. Don't neglect the older sibling when baby comes along. A headline on news24.com read, "Ever feel like you're cheating on your firstborn with your second child?" A newborn in the house that is dependent on you for everything can be really daunting for the older sibling. Family, it even happens with celebs. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen experienced a similar situation with their children. Older sister Luna was terribly resentful of baby brother Miles. As Legend said, "I think she's just becoming aware that he's the competition." There is more than enough love to go around. Just remember to show it to your older child or children so that feelings of resentment don't develop early. Number 3. Encourage friends and family to give attention to the older sibling too. It's normal for friends and family to come see the new baby and be totally full of oohs and ahs, not realizing that they could be making the older sibling feel left out. Or they ask the older sibling what it's like to be a big brother or sister, and the entire conversation is about their relationship with the baby. And while there is ample space for that to happen, try and get your family and friends to include the older one without making it all about the baby. Take a little walk, go pick some flowers, paint a picture or color in. Any activity that is solely about the older sibling is a win in the long run. Number 4. Display empathy. Here's what we mean. There's a brilliant book called Siblings Without Rivalry, How to Help Your Children Live Together So You Can Live Too, by Adele Faber and Elaine Maslish, which we recommend you listen to on Audible. Remember to claim your free download by going to our sister channel, alux.com/free book. The book sums it up as rivalry stemming from a need for attention. When one sibling says, "Mom, he took my scissors," our natural reaction is to either berate the one child for taking the scissors or to berate the other one for telling the tale. Instead, rather validate the feelings behind the scissors being taken. "He took your scissors? That must have made you feel sad." Number 5. Spend one-on-one time with each child. The question, how much one-on-one time should I spend with my child daily, is often asked. Verywellfamily.com recommend 15 minutes a day per child. They do point out, though, you're better off giving each child 10 minutes of your undivided attention as you wait in line at the grocery store, rather than spend 5 hours in the same room using separate electronic devices. Spending quality time with each child is not only beneficial to you as the parent, but also goes a long way in reducing sibling rivalry. Number 6. Never compare your children. Embrace their individuality. Parenting 101. Never compare your children. It's the quickest way to let jealousy, resentment, anger, and hurt set in. As we mentioned in our video, 15 traits of toxic parents that ruin children's lives, comparisons are damaging, and by comparing your child to others, breaks down their self-worth. Each child has their own unique characteristics. And yes, it can happen that you have a personality clash with a child, but it's your job as the parent to work on yourself and not try and change your child to best suit you. If you want your children to grow up to be friends one day, then comparing them to each other is completely out of the question. Number 7. Set limits and stick to them. What is your first job as a parent? To protect your children, even if that means protecting them from each other. And family, that is hard, but that's your job. So don't be afraid to play policeman occasionally. As suggested on AskDrSears.com, give clear messages about how you expect your kids to behave toward one another before arguments become a way of life. You're also reminded that how siblings behave toward one another is their first social lesson in how to behave in a group. Number 8. Lead by example. How do you and your partner deal with differences of opinion? Do you raise your voices and yell at each other, or do you sit down and hash out your differences? Think about how you're dealing with conflict in your own relationships, and that's how your children will deal with conflict in theirs. And here's the thing, family, conflict and difference of opinions are normal. Don't try and hide it from your children either. They need to learn the correct way to manage it, and you're their best teacher. As Ronald Reagan once said, peace is not absence of conflict. It is the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. Number 9. Accept that children do not need to be treated equally. Hear us out. Your children are different people. They each have their own likes and dislikes, strengths and weaknesses, positive personality traits, and personality traits that may need a little work. Perhaps one child functions well on less sleep than the other. So you put one down at 8 p.m. and the other at 9 p.m. Why? Because you know what works best for your children. They may think it's unfair or you're favoring the other, but you're the parent. You know what's best for your child, not your child. And family, sometimes one child just needs more than the other. The roles will switch, and it's up to you to figure it out. Number 10. Don't punish a child in front of siblings. As if being called out in front of a sibling isn't bad enough, punishing them in front of that sibling is even worse. It can be humiliating and embarrassing for the child. Rather remove the sibling from the situation and deal with it behind closed doors. This approach to dealing with conflict will reduce animosity between the siblings, and again, you're setting the tone for how your children behave in the future and how they parent their children one day. Number 11. Ensure each child gets their own space and quiet time. Family, just like we need our quiet alone time, so do our kids. If siblings are spending all day, every day together, no doubt they're going to work on each other's nerves, and yours. Allow time in the day for each child to spend playing with their own toys without interruption from a sibling. If a sibling has a play date coming over, ensure they get alone time and make arrangements for the other child. Then, when the siblings are reunited again, they realize they missed each other and it allows for good bonding to follow. Number 12. Remove an item that is causing issues. There are many ways of dealing with this kind of conflict between brothers and sisters. Easiest way is to just remove the item in question. So if it's a remote control or video games or cars, simply take it away. You can give one warning if you're feeling generous, but after that, calmly walk in and remove it. Otherwise, if you're feeling more creative, you can draw up a schedule where there is no room for his turn, her turn, she had it longer than I had, as it will be there in black and white. Number 13. Acknowledge that not all rivalry is bad. There is some good news, new parents. Not all sibling rivalry is bad. Sibling rivalry allows children a safe place to learn how to negotiate, problem solve, and diffuse stressful situations. As cited on yourmodernfamily.com and suggested by the National Center of Biotechnology Information, most research on direct sibling influences is grounded in developmental or social learning models, suggesting that by virtue of their everyday involvement, siblings can promote positive development as well as adjustment problems. And the best part is that you're there to oversee the situation and help your children grow from the experience. Number 14. Hold family meetings. Sometimes children need to be reminded of the rules. And if the fighting and rivalry is getting out of hand, then it's time to call a family meeting. Make sure everyone understands the rules. Give your children a safe space to voice their opinion on the rules and engage with them on their thoughts on the current situation. When you work together as a family and everyone is on the same page, it's much easier to diffuse problems in the future. Number 15. Your siblings are forever. The thing about siblings is that they know everything about you. They know why you function the way you do. They share memories, good and bad, and they understand you in ways that nobody else ever can. Siblings potentially have a best friend for life. But family, even if they're not best friends, most importantly, they need to be able to rely on each other, call on each other when things are tough, and just be there for each other. And that family is what most parents desire for their children. We have a question for you. What advice can you give when it comes to sibling rivalry? We value your input, family. And for staying with us till the end, we've got one more fact to share with you. Sometimes sibling rivalry can get out of hand, and if the following is happening in your home, we advise you to seek professional help. If the rivalry is causing marital problems, if physical harm is occurring, if there are severe self-esteem issues, or if a child is depressed or suicidal. In these cases, it's not normal sibling rivalry, and your family will benefit from you acting quickly, responsibly, and most importantly, coming from a place of love. Thanks for spending time with us. We appreciate your likes, and remember to subscribe for more videos.